So on number 9, we're going to use the complex conjugate theorem, meaning you have 3 plus I, you also have 3 minus I as a solution. So what that's going to look like, that means you have x minus 9, and then remember you have to use the opposite sign, but at the same time, this 3 plus I is considered its own individual term. So I put it in parentheses like this. Now, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to work with these back to x minus 3 plus I and x minus 3 minus I first. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this negative sign to both terms. So now I have x minus 3 minus I, x minus 3 plus I. What I notice is both of these have x minus 3, so I'm going to go ahead and put that aside for now as x minus 3 squared. 1 for x minus 3 here, 1 for x minus 3 there. And then I have negative I times positive I. I means the square root of negative 1. So when you multiply I times I, you get negative 1. And keep in mind this, I kept a negative sign because you had a negative times a positive here. So this is what we're looking at right now. I'm going to go ahead and do x minus 3 squared over here. So that gives me 9, negative 3x. Put my placeholder of 0. Then I have negative 3x and x squared. So I have x squared minus 6x plus 9. In that part, x squared minus 6x plus 9. And then in the back, I had negative 1 times negative 1. Just like a little negative 1. So that gave me positive 1. I'm going to go ahead and combine my two like terms here. And now I have x squared minus 6x plus 10. And this entire time, the x minus 9 did not change. It came straight down. So now I'm at a point where I can go ahead and multiply out these two, the trinomial by the binomial. I'm going to go ahead and erase this over here so I have some extra room. There we go. So now I have x squared minus 6x plus 10 times x minus 9. Polynomial multiplication, negative 9 times 10 is negative 90. Negative 9 times negative 6x is positive 54x. Negative 9 times x squared is negative 9x squared. Oops. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my placeholder. X times 10 is 10x. X times negative 6x is negative 6x squared. Then x times x squared is x cubed. Sorry, this is kind of running into each other, but I'm going to add straight down and get x cubed. Keep in mind, I'm just working with the blue right now. Minus 15x squared plus 64x minus 90. That's not getting any prettier, but there's the answer. So you have you started off with 3 terms here. So that means you had x cubed to start off. You did this correctly.